Hello, Dr. Shaw here, and welcome to another episode of Teaching Humanity Remotely. Today, I really want to dig deep into the concept and phrase that timing is everything. And I want to say that it probably is very difficult for children to understand the truth of this sentiment because grown-ups have such a hard time understanding it. Often, children can understand things way before grown-ups, but this one is, I think, challenging for all of us to understand because it is about delayed gratification. So I'm going to give you some examples. When an adult has a learning lesson or transformation, that adult would say, oh, if only I knew this 20 years ago, or if only this happened then, or someone will have so much regret. For example, there is a lovely man that I became friendly with. He is our electrician in our new house, and he's just such a decent, fantastic human being. I have so much admiration for him. Years ago, his wife died in a car accident, and he has since raised their 4 children. And they just are all so outstanding, and he's so outstanding. And he recently told me that when he looks over the pictures that he had, all family pictures and all these pictures of his wife prior to her death, all of the pictures are completely happy pictures. You know, when we take a picture, we usually want to smile and look good, and they're all happy pictures. But there's one picture that she took, a selfie of herself, where she was crying. So he concludes that must have been because he made her cry. Now, we can have a whole conversation about, do we make people do something, or did we just be ourselves and they react the way they react, and everyone should take responsibility? But that's for a different podcast. So he said that when he looks at the picture of her crying, that's the picture that stands out in his head and in his heart and in his mind. Instead of seeing all the thousands of smiling pictures, he really pays attention to the sad picture. And I think, oh, how interesting that is, because we are what we pay attention to. And what he was saying was that he has regret that he would do something that would make her cry. And I say, timing is everything. And when that picture took place, that's where you were. And that's where she was, and she cried. But you, now that you are more mature and you're older, and you also get to witness all the thousands of happy pictures that she also took, you get to say, what do I pay attention to and what do I choose? And for you to hold on to the regret and to hold on to the guilt that one picture out of 1,000 made her cry, it's the wrong message. It's the wrong takeaway. My takeaway is that in that moment, years and years and years ago, over 20 years ago, she took a selfie where she was crying. And it might be because you had something to do with it. And all the other pictures she took, she wasn't crying. So you could pay attention to all of those happy pictures and all those happy memories that you gave to each other and that you had together as a family. And you can see that in the crying picture, that's where you were at that time. And that lesson brought you to where you are now. And where you are now is to know that you don't want to perform an action that will make someone cry. But what we have to do is we have to go through everything we go through in order to get to the place where we are now. So when people say, for instance, my life has really transformed, and my feeling is I don't have regret that I went through everything I went through before I got to the place I'm at. I have nothing but gratitude. I believe through my entire life I got exactly what I deserved. And prior to having self-love and self-worth and self-respect, which is something that I prayed for my life, I got treated badly because I believed I deserved to be treated badly. So I have no regret that now I'm being treated like a princess. I have only gratitude that I finally got to my prayers answered. I finally got to the place that I want to be, where I know that I deserve love and respect, and I deserve to be treated well, and I have worthiness, and now I'm there. But I totally understand and believe and know for sure that I had to go through everything I went through to get to where I am now. You can't jump through it. You can't say, I want it to be different. It is what it is. And so you have to go through all of those stages to get to the place where you are. And once you're at that place that you're having your best life, you don't beat yourself up for not being there sooner. If you really are at that place where you have that understanding and it's your best life, you have nothing but gratitude. So I don't have regret and I don't have guilt, because if I did, it's really an arrogance that is in that guilt and regret. It's like saying, somehow I should have known better. And you can't know better until you know. And you have to appreciate all of your learning lessons. And if you don't appreciate them, then you're denying the gift that the learning lesson gives you. So I really have a very strong feeling that timing really is everything. So when your child gets really upset because they didn't make the team, or they weren't the captain, or they didn't get the lead in the play, or they didn't get the A on the test, or they're not in the social group that they want to be in, I think our responsibility is to share those human feelings where we feel disappointment and we feel pain and we feel ostracized and we feel all the feelings that we have when we're not getting what we want in the moment that we want it. Explain that those moments, they serve a purpose. That's where we are. If I always got everything I wanted from the very beginning, what would I be learning? What would I be striving for? When would I feel satisfied? There's something about balancing good, hard work with having things come easy and knowing the difference. But I really believe that we want to learn that timing really is everything. If we could honor that, if we could always do our personal best as much as we can, and know that sometimes our personal best is going to give us the exact result that we want, and sometimes it won't, and that's okay. And when it doesn't, we readjust, we reflect, we talk about it, we think about it, we consider if we still have that wish. Do we have the same intention? What are we paying attention to? There are a few key ingredients: intention, attention, and reflection. And we can do that throughout our entire life. But to not understand that timing is so critical and so important, and to get to a place where we're at our best and then we have regret that we weren't there sooner, it really negates our understanding about how important timing is and that we get what we get when we need it. In other words, when I got really beat up in a situation, I needed that learning lesson to know that I didn't deserve to be beat up anymore. And that's what I mean by timing is everything, to really honor oneself in the stages of one's life. I think I've shared before that my spiritual teacher told me that when you get older, in your 50s and your 60s, you don't have to try so hard in the world. And people come to you. And it's really true. When I was in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, I was still trying to make it in the world. And I was going out of myself to prove that I was worthy. And now I'm in myself. So that's where wisdom comes from. A little quieting, a little acceptance, a little celebrating, a little understanding, more experience. And I have no regret and I have no guilt, because I know that I had to go through everything I went through to get where I am. And when I hear somebody else saying, oh, I wish I did this sooner, or I wish this happened sooner, or why did I have to have that relationship when it was so detrimental to me, I always say, stop. That relationship got you to where you are right now. You can't go faster than you can go. Respect that timing is everything. And there's a reason that our life shifts as we grow. First, we get taken care of, hopefully. And then we get to a place where we get a little independence and we start making a little money after school. And then we get to a place where we do studying. And then we get to a place where we need to make much more money for ourselves and a family. And then we get to a place where we're working really hard and raising a family and doing all that stuff, worldly stuff. And then we get to the place where we can ease up on the external work of the world and see what it's like to come in to yourself and have people come to you, and you become purposeful in a different way. Timing is everything. We need to honor that. Honor that timing is everything. And the more you can understand that as the adult that you are, the better you can help children understand that. And also understand that that concept may be very hard for them to understand. So be gentle there as well. But it's very important for us to believe it. The more we believe these simple truths, these lawful elements, the better we'll be able to convey that to our children. And maybe they'll be a little bit more at ease and learn a little bit about patience and resilience. So until next time, I hope this resonates with you, because it really has freed me up so much, the idea that timing is everything, and it has freed me of guilt and resentment, and it has given me a humbleness of appreciation for every stage I was in, without having the arrogance that I should know more than I did at each stage. That's really the key. So I hope this helps you. Please feel free to communicate with me at learnwithmeremotely@gmail.com. Until next time, be well.